Ladder Nuzlocke, episode 5, I think. As always, credit for the idea to the tub guys, Alex and Adi of the YouTube channel CK49. I got the idea by watching them do this exact challenge, and now I'm just doing it myself. The format here, as always, is I am playing the Regulation G Best-of-1 ladder. Every time I win a game, I roll a virtual die, and I get the opponent's Pokemon from the team slot corresponding to the die. I get to add that to my pool of Pokemon. I actually am forced to add that Pokemon to my team immediately, so someone has to go from the active team and go down to the box here. This box is where all of my backup Pokemon are stored. I can fill them onto the team as I lose Pokemon. The way that I lose a Pokemon is every time I lose a game, I roll a virtual die, and that determines which one of my Pokemon is dead and goes to the dead box right here, like in a typical Nuzlocke challenge. The challenge ends when I either hit a rating of 1500, that's a successful challenge, or I run out of Pokemon, that's a failure. And for the purposes of the episode, this specific episode will end when I either hit 1400 or lose 6 Pokemon within the episode. The team right now, I just added this Brute Bonnet. I sent Rillaboom to the box for it. I think I'd probably rather have Rillaboom, but rules are rules, and there wasn't really anywhere else that I wanted to put Brute Bonnet. Also, this set is just purely copied from Munch stats usage data, but it's probably okay, I think. But yeah, I didn't want to put it anywhere else because I have this Rain Core of Pelipper, Archaludon, and Rapid Strike Urshifu. And then Incineroar is Incineroar, and my restricted Pokemon, the only one I have right now is Black Kyurem. Team's a little bit disjointed, but there definitely are some good synergies there. It was working out okay at the end of the last episode, and we'll see how it goes for us now. As we get the first game. First game of the video is always a little bit nerve-wracking. Okay. Just bumped my desk. We got some Miraidon stuff here. The Goldango is, I think, a little unusual, but I'm not keeping up super closely with the meta right now. What do I want to do? Brute Bonnet is probably not great here. It can't change the terrain like Rillaboom can, unfortunately. And I also can't spore things if they get electric terrain up, nor can I ever spore Goldango. That said, Sucker Punch might actually be decent into Miraidon, Landorus, and Goldango. So I actually think I consider bringing Brute Bonnet here anyway. In past Miraidon matchups, when I still had a Whimsicott, I was leading Whimsicott Kyurem and going for the Tailwind stuff immediately, but this time my Tailwind setter doesn't have priority, so I don't like that quite as much. I could lead Kyurem anyway, actually. I'm just going to do Pelipper Kyurem. I'm still going to go for the Tailwind if they'll let me. I do have the Focus Sash on Pelipper, and I'll bring Archaludon, and I think I will bring Brute Bonnet. It's a little bit scuffed for sure. I won't be surprised if we start with an L this video, but let's try not to because I want to gain Pokemon, not lose Pokemon. They lead Goldango. I don't have great coverage into that on this Kyurem. I can think about switching, or I can just throw a Fusion Bolt at it. Or so. Actually, I think I want to Icicle Spear the Whimsicott. I would like to get rid of that Pokemon. And yeah, let's try to get my Tailwind if they don't taunt Pelipper. But if they do taunt Pelipper, then they don't get Tailwind either. Okay, we'll both get Tailwind here. But I will KO Whimsicott, so they won't be able to set theirs back up at least once it's expired. Here's the Miraidon. Can't say I'm too surprised by that. I'm going to protect Kyurem and see what they go for here, and I'm just going to try to get a Weather Ball into Goldango. I want damage on that. If they lock Miraidon into an electric attack, it's still tricky because they can use Make It Rain. I might just knock Pelipper out here. Yeah, the question of whether to Terrasilize Kyurem, I think the answer is just that Kyurem's not in a good position here either way. Unfortunately, Pelipper going down here does mean no Wide Guard for me, but I can bring Brute Bonnet in now and threaten the Sucker Punch into Goldango. I can bring in Archaludon and click Electro Shot alternatively, but I think it's worth preserving the Sturdy on Archaludon. And this will make their life a little bit harder. I can Icicle Spear Landorus, and yeah, Sucker Punch Goldango. If Goldango doesn't attack, then it's not threatening Kyurem this turn, is it? But it does attack, so we knock it out with the Sucker Punch. And we'll knock out Landorus here, and we should then be able to beat Miraidon, now that it's their last Pokemon. So this looks like it's turned out pretty nicely. They do, in fact, forfeit. So we're going to start the video off by gaining a Pokemon. Let's see what it is. Number 5, that's Incarnate Form Landorus. Okay, not too bad. Actually, especially on this rain team, right? I can actually just, I might actually drop Incineroar for Landorus. I think it has to be either Incineroar or Brute Bonnet, because we're quadrupling down on the rain at this point. Pelipper sets the rain, our Chaladon is fast with Electro Shot, we have the Scarf Urshifu. Landorus with like a Life Orb and Sandsear Storm could complement that pretty nicely. But I think I like the Brute Bonnet for creating openings for its teammates, and I haven't brought Incineroar to a game in a while, so even though Incineroar has some obvious synergy here, I think that is the Pokemon that I'm going to drop for Landorus for now. So we'll put Incineroar down here in the box. I now have 3 Incineroar in the box, so if I ever want to call one back up, I have plenty of backups. That wasn't worth saying that way. Okay, Landorus, we'll go Life Orb, Sheer Force. I want Earth Power, I want Sandsear Storm, and then probably just Sludge Bomb and Protect. Terra Poison. And we keep the EV spread simple here because I'm not that good at EV spreads and I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it. So, alright. Yeah, we've almost got a real rain team here, except that the restricted Pokemon is still Black Kyurem, but it put in work last game. So maybe I shouldn't complain. Okay, this is an interesting team. They don't have a restricted Pokemon. That's a very interesting team. I mean, I kind of want to just get the rain stuff going. Kyurem's not great here, right? Because it's weak to Zapdos, Incineroar, Iron Valiant, possibly coverage from Chien-Pao. I'm not even sure I want to bring my restricted to this game. Although it is very strong into the Landorus, but then again, so is Urshifu. I feel like I could actually probably just lead like Pelipper or Chaladon, and then bring Landorus and Urshifu. I bring Urshifu for sure. I need to think about the Rillaboom, right? I'm a little bit weak into... I'm not super weak into that right now, but maybe a little bit. But I think Landorus is reasonable. Or I could bring Kyurem. I actually could bring Kyurem because it's strong into Rillaboom and their Landorus, which are the 2 Pokemon I'm most bothered about right now. But I'm going to try Landorus. Why not? We just got it. Let's give it a go. Okay. Iron Valiant and Zapdos leading. That's 2 fighting types into our Chaladon. Don't love that. But I think what I'm going to do is just protect our Chaladon this turn and go for Tailwind. And then I can at least start clicking Electro Shot and like Hurricane, assuming Pelipper gets through the turn after this. And of course, neither one of these Pokemon can be taken out in one hit because it's Sash Pelipper and Sturdy our Chaladon. There's a little bit of resilience there. Okay, it's Coaching Iron Valiant. They do go for Thunderous Kick into our Chaladon, so both my Pokemon still cannot be one-shot right now. And I have Tailwind up. I'm just going to double into Zapdos with Electro Shot and Hurricane. They can protect it if they want, but I want to make sure I knock it out before it gets a chance to get going. Terra Normal, okay. But it's going to take neutral damage from both of these. The Electro Shot does a lot. The Iron Valiant goes next. But then Pelipper knocks out the Zapdos. Okay. And we know that the Chaladon is faster in Tailwind than the Iron Valiant. Or at least not slower, so that's good. So can I just Flash Cannon Iron Valiant and Weather Ball Landorus? Well, that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully it works out. Okay, yep, knocks out Iron Valiant. Pelipper goes before Landorus in the Tailwind and knocks it out. Will we see their last Pokemon? It's Rillaboom. Okay. I mean, I'll just Dragon Pulse and Hurricane. They can fake something out if they want. That would be too slow anyway. Knocking out Pelipper makes more sense there. Tailwind does end here, but I can get Landorus in and click the Terra Poison and Sludge Bomb. Then our Chaladon is still Dragon Pulsing as well. And our Chaladon is not going to take much, I would think, from a Grassy Glide, so... And it's max speed, so it's going to be moving before Rillaboom. Landorus takes that Grassy Glide pretty nicely after the Terra, and the Sludge Bomb gets the KO. Alright, I am definitely not getting a new restricted Pokemon from this team, we know that much, but let's see what I am getting. Number 4. Alright, now I'm going to have 4 Incineroar in the box. That's fun. Oh, no, I have to add Incineroar to the team, don't I? Alright, well, we're going to put a backup Incineroar here. I almost forgot that very important rule. I'm just going to slot Incineroar back in over Landorus? Or is it time for Brute Bonnet to move on? Do I just go back to the team that I used in the first game? Or do I keep Landorus and drop Brute Bonnet? I think I'm going to drop Brute Bonnet for Incineroar. I think we keep Landorus in the team and we really keep going with this Rain Core while we have it. So Brute Bonnet can go to the box. And then Incineroar. Just keep the same set I was using earlier. Oops. Right, okay. Just delete and paste. And then make sure that we have the correct number of Incineroar down here, which is 3, of course. Alright, that's quite the box. And on to the next game. So basically I've changed Brute Bonnet to Landorus in the end after all. We've got an Ice Rider Sun team here. So they have Weather. And presumably they have Trick Room. Might be a little bit trickier for my Rain team than the games have been up to now. On the other hand, if I just lead like Archaludon and Landorus, and I have Pelipper in the back, I think I'm threatening a lot of offense right off the bat. And for the last Pokemon, there's a very real case to bring Incineroar here. It's good into most of their team. I actually think it's probably worthwhile, and we leave the Kyurem behind again. And Urshifu's not that great into some of these Pokemon, so I'm going to bring Incineroar. We'll see if I regret it. But yeah, hopefully I can just get a strong start with either Archaludon or Landorus attacking and overwhelm them. Or even both, depending on how they lead. Okay, it's Calyrex, Rillaboom. It might be best that I just switch straight to Pelipper here and go for an Electro Shot into Calyrex. They can fake out Archaludon if they want, but we'd probably live with that. But I will go ahead and get the Rain up here. They switch to Urshifu, okay, and it's Single Strike. The Glacial Lance does a lot to my Pokemon, but now that I have Pelipper in, I can click Wide Guard. But the problem is I might only be able to click Wide Guard once because they could probably knock Pelipper out. So let's try to make the most of that and get rid of Calyrex. If I'm trading one of these Pokemon for Calyrex, that's probably okay. And it's close combat into Archaludon. That's not what I wanted to see. And the Urshifu going before Archaludon. Yeah, okay. That's a really rough start already to this game. Let's go on offense. I'm going to Terra Poison, Sandsear Storm, and Weather Ball Urshifu to try to knock it out through a Sash. And hope that I, like, burn the Calyrex here. Okay, now I need to connect Sandsear Storm. I do, and I get the Fire Weather Ball into Calyrex, so that's a very good turn. Didn't get the Urshifu, but it is progress. Now I can get an Intimidate into these Pokemon, preserve Landorus for now. Obviously I don't have Protect on Pelipper, so I can't do that. I can try to set Tailwind. They might stop me. Wicked Blow into Incineroar, okay, and there's no Fake Out, so I do get Tailwind up. I lose Pelipper, but now I was still going to have to think a little bit, but actually they forfeit. That's another win. Let's see what Pokemon I get from this game. Number 4, Amoonguss, okay. Alright, so I just had Brute Bonnet, and now I'm going to change what was the Brute Bonnet slot to Amoonguss. So this time I really do get 4 Incineroar in the box. That's a little bit ridiculous, but I guess that's how it goes in a challenge like this with high usage Pokemon. We'll slot an Amoonguss in here. Let me see. I tend to like Terra Water Amoonguss these days. I think that's a pretty reasonable way to go here. By the way, very like the Tub Run, I've still only rolled a restricted Pokemon once, and it's this Black Kyurem that's been largely a passenger in the last couple games. Well, purely a passenger in the last couple games, but largely at other times. I do like Terra Water Amoonguss right now. I don't know if it's optimal on this team, but it's the first Terra type that comes to mind for this Pokemon for me right now. It is actually a little bit tricky because it's another electric weakness. Maybe I could think about like Terra Fairy. What does Terra Fairy do? I'll start with water, and we'll see. Regenerator. I could go Citrus Berry or Rocky Helmet. I don't think I'm that afraid of... maybe I'm a little bit afraid of Rapid Strike Urshifu right now. Kind of feels like this and Pelipper are my answers to it. So Rocky Helmet is worth considering, actually. I'll give it a go. And then Spore, Rage Powder. I don't think I need Sludge Bomb. Probably. I have decent coverage into grass types and whatnot, so we'll do Pollen Puff and Protect. And then my go-to very wiggly bars Amoonguss spread that I was definitely calced for something in a much earlier regulation, but then I've just kept using out of habit. And I like to run min speed on Amoonguss for opposing Trick Room. There we go. I think I calced that spread in like Reg B, but I don't know what it was for. Okay, we got more of a Tailwind focused Ice Rider team. Hang on, I need to sneeze. Okay, we got more of a Tailwind focused Ice Rider team. Let's see. I can bring my own Tailwind, but again, theirs has priority and mine doesn't. Also, they could easily have Sunny Day on that Tornadus, but I think we just take our chances here. I'll lead our Chaldon and Pelipper, Landorus in the back, and Urshifu. And hope that we get the right kind of offensive matchup to overwhelm them here. So yeah, our Chaldon Pelipper leading against Chi-Yu and their Urshifu. It's a little bit awkward for me, but I probably want to switch my Urshifu in because if I was thinking about Protector, or I was thinking about Electroshock and Tailwind. The problem is they might attack our Chaldon with both of these Pokemon and knock it out before it gets to do the Electroshock. So we'll switch Urshifu in, and I will go for Tailwind. I could have gotten that Electroshock off. Oh well. Oh well. Also don't take that close combat very well, but I do get Tailwind now, and I can threaten Surging Strikes and Hurricane. The Aqua Jet, but we take it. I go before the Flutter Mane, and this will knock it out. Is it Sash or Urshifu on their side? Nope, it's knocked out too. And then, I mean, I still have Tailwind up. Let's try to isolate this horse, so... yeah, let's try to get rid of the Chi-Yu, and... I'm actually going to click Wide Guard just in case they go for a Glacial Lance to try to get set up here. Yeah, it only takes one hit to knock out the Chi-Yu. Stomping Tantrum into Urshifu. Okay, so they do get a boost, but the speed control is still in my favor, and they Terrasilize to water, so I can get them with a Stellar Electroshot here, actually. And a Hurricane. Finally got to use that Stellar Terra on our Chaladon. I don't think I've clicked it yet, but... well, until now, but now I have. And the Electroshot KOs. And let's see what Pokemon I get from this. Number 5, Flutter Mane. Okay, interesting. I kind of think I like the Rain Core right now. I think it's just the 6th slot that I want to keep changing. So I think I'll put Fluttermane in over Amoonguss. Even though Amoonguss seems like it could definitely be good on this team, I think it just is the odd mon out here when I'm forced to make a change. I actually probably would rather keep Amoonguss and not run Fluttermane, but the rules don't allow that. And I'm going to figure out this Fluttermane set in just a moment, but I just need to pause the recording for a sec. Okay, Fluttermane. I know people have optimized bulky spreads on this Pokemon. I'm just going to tell you now, I'm pretty sure I'm doing 252, 252. It's that kind of series. But Fluttermane does give me another speed control option besides Pelipper's Tailwind, so I think we will try to take advantage of that. I think we want Moonblast, Shadow Ball, Icy Wind probably, and then I could consider Taunt. But I think we're going to keep it simple and just go with Protect. We'll go Terra Fairy. And just max speed. Yeah. Keep it simple here. Okay. Let's go. Zacian Gouging Fire Team. Huh, with Murkrow. Once again, they have priority Tailwind. Also, I don't think I love Fluttermane into these Pokemon. Well, maybe Urshifu, but not the rest. Landorus looks pretty strong here, though. I could try leading Pelipper. They DC'd. Oh, they're back. Okay. I could try leading Pelipper Landorus. It puts out pressure into some of their Pokemon. It's not so strong into like a Rillaboom lead, but... in that case, I could bring Kyurem and or Chaladon in the back. My gut's saying our Chaladon and Urshifu. Leave the Kyurem behind again. That means our Chaladon is my only Rillaboom switch in, really. Unless I Terrasilize Landorus, but I think I'm okay with that. Oh, I think I'm going to have to be. Alright, it is Gouging Fire Zacian lead. That is pretty much what I was hoping to see. Let's protect Landorus and try to get Tailwind up. It's tempting to just click the Sandsear Storm immediately, but these Pokemon are going to be faster than Landorus, so I'm not sure that plan works out. Breaking Swipe. Are they knocking out Pelipper? Ah, they got me. Okay. The Terra Ground Zacian too, so the Sandsear Storm won't be as strong into it now. That said, I've got Urshifu in. I'm just going to click Surging Strikes and Sandsear Storm and hope it works out. Breaking Swipe. But crits won't worry. Crits aren't bothered by that. We'll knock Zacian out here. We get single target Sandsear Storm into Gouging Fire. Of course, it's a fire type. It can't be burned. But it gets knocked out, so that's not a problem. But I didn't get my Tailwind, and they can get theirs now with the Murkrow. I think we let Landorus go down here and try to win the game with our Chaladon in the back. So I'll just click Earth Power into Urshifu and Surging Strikes. I'm thinking about whether I want to Terrasilize my Urshifu. It's a tough call. Because the Murkrow's running Foul Play or something, we'll take less from that unterrasilized. We do more there. I'm just going to not, for now at least. They Surging Strikes the Landorus, so it does just drop, but I do get the attack off into their Urshifu. Another one of those might KO. But the real thing is the sturdy, our Chaladon. Try to connect this Electro Shot into something. I'll Surging Strikes into their Urshifu again as a backup to that idea. Surging Strikes are Chaladon, so it's not going to take too much from that. Don't have to worry about it being about that KOing through sturdy. Does my Surging Strikes knock their Urshifu out? It does. And then I get the Electro Shot into Murkrow after the Foul Play. Okay. Too bad I didn't click the Terra Stellar there. Oh, it wouldn't have KO'd anyway because it's Sash Murkrow, but we'll win now. No need to Terra. Urshifu wins. That battle takes me over 1400, so that is the last one of this episode. Very solid little episode here, but of course we will make one more team change before ending the recording. And we roll number 5, which is Murkrow. I kept saying that I wanted Priority Tailwind back, but it is kind of an awkward Pokemon to pair with Pelipper. I actually don't have to keep Pelipper now, do I? I can run Murkrow because it can... I think it gets Rain Dance as well. So I can just have Murkrow replace Pelipper. That said, Priority Rain Dance is not quite as good as Drizzle. Okay, well I know the Pokemon I'm getting is Murkrow. I can close the battle and take a second to think about this. I am tempted to just keep rotating this 6th slot and put Murkrow in for Fluttermane and then hopefully win the next game and turn Murkrow into something else. But Pelipper is my Wide Guard user too. And in situations where I really want the Priority Tailwind, I don't know. I don't think we break up the Rain Core. The Rain Core has been putting in work all video. I brought Kyurem to like 1 game. So I think it is Fluttermane that gets the boot here. Even if that's a little bit counterintuitive. I don't want to break up the Rain Core. Look at that box though. That's a much healthier box than it used to be. Although there are a lot of cats in it. Okay. Murkrow. Eviolite, Prankster. I also can... I can consider it a second Rain Setter, actually. What do I want? Terra Steel, Terra Ghost. I'm going to say tentatively Terra Ghost. I think there's a good chance I'm not running Protect on it. Tailwind. We'll still run Rain Dance. Because, yeah, having 2 Rain Setters could come in handy. And then I could consider Haze. I'm not really running it. The only boost I'm running is Electroshot or Chaladon. And you never know if I might run into a Dondozo or something. Or I could run Taunt. I think one of those... Or I could run Thunder Wave. I think one of those 3 and then Foul Play. I could even run Feather Dance, actually. Feather Dance is kind of funny. Let's go Thunder Wave. And then Foul Play. I can adjust it later if I want. Let's just go max defense. Not Impish. Bold. Yeah. Okay. That's my Murkrow, unless I reconsider the set later, and I will, of course, have time to do that, because that is the end of Episode 5. And next episode, not to jinx it, I hope, but there is a chance of the entire challenge ending. It's certainly not guaranteed, but next episode, for the first time in this series, could potentially be the last one, so be sure not to miss it.